I'm sure we have somebody here that knows something about the Ioniq.
Ooh, all right. Get some involvement.
Tomorrow, our sales staff is going to be having a contest where we play a little game we like to call Knockout. And in that game, basically they have to go around the car and everybody has to tell me something about it.
Yeah.
They can't repeat what somebody else said, and they can't be wrong about something or they're out. The last person standing gets the prize, is this shiny quarter.
Here's the real question. Is this really a test for you to get their knowledge, or like is this a completely selfish learning experience for you?
Well, Doug's probably got most knowledge. What was he saying?
He was talking about how great you were. Want to show me some cool stuff on one of those Ioniqs?
Out in the rain?
We'll go inside the car.
Sure. I realize I have a face made for radio. First of all, the one we're sitting in is our SEL model. There's 3 different models. The more base model is outside to our right there. That's the Ioniq Blue. That's the base model. Still comes with a fair amount of equipment. That's the one that has the highest fuel economy in the American market right now.
Which is?
59 miles per gallon highway, 57 city.
So that is a statistic for hybrid vehicles?
Well, hybrid vehicles are just in general.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the model we're in currently is our SEL model, which is kind of the mid-level, and it gets, I believe, 56 highway, 54 city for an average of 55.
Cool.
So pretty amazing. The dimensions of the car are identical to the Elantra, so they're nice and roomy, as you can see.
Yeah.
Very comfortable to sit in. It feels like a car, sounds like a car. The Infotainment Center here, the center console, they come standard with the backup camera, AM, FM, satellite radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. The particular model we're in, the SEL, has heated front seats, power adjustable driver's seat, dual zone climate control. Up on the wheel here you get your Bluetooth, your audio controls, cruise control. Kind of a really neat feature, and I don't know if you can see the gauges there. With the SEL and then the Limited is the next step up, which we have not gotten in stock yet. There's an eco mode, which 99% of people are going to drive in, but if you ever need to have a little bit more power, a little more sporty feel, you can just pop the shifter over to sport mode. And I'm going to go back. If you can see the gauge cluster there, so you've got your speedometer, your fuel range, there's the different mode of
on the left,
how you're driving on the left, and then on the right is the battery charge. So watch closely when I pop it over to the sport mode, the gauges, the whole thing's going to change.
Okay.
It changes over to a tachometer with a digital speedometer. So the whole thing is digital and changes depending on the drive mode you're in.
Nice.
So little things that are cool are kind of cool.
Yeah.
So backup camera that's all wet from the rain. One of the neat kind of small features, but they changed it from the Elantra to this. I don't know if you can see it. The buttons are raised. They call them like piano keys. So it's a little bit more upscale feel, especially in a hybrid.
Yeah, it feels more like the Genesis buttons.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Got your 2 12-volt chargers, USB, so when you're plugged into the USB with your smartphone, the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto comes into play, which is amazing, newer technology. Got the D-cut steering wheel, nice leather, a little bit thicker padding, so it's just a real comfortable grip. Tons of legroom. I can put the seat back even farther. I'm 6'1" and stretch my legs out completely. Back seat folds flat, basically flat, and there's a little bit of an incline, but a huge amount of cargo space.
Yeah.
And that hatch opens up to a nice big opening. You can get big boxes, lots of luggage in there. Just really well equipped, and I think they're a sharp looking car. You can tell they're a hybrid by the style, the front end, the blacked out grille, the LED daytime running lights. They're just a really sporty, fun-looking car. I think Hyundai, if you've seen the new Ioniq commercials, has really captured kind of the fun, I want to buy a hybrid, but there never was the one out there that felt right.
I'd like to drive a hybrid car, but I'm not sure it's for me.
When you're driving this on the highway in a kind of a nasty day, but it feels like a car. You can feel the engine. Really nice thing about our technology, they run in parallel. So you've got the lithium-ion battery that supports the engine and solely drives the car at lower speeds, and then the four-cylinder engine that kicks in when it's needed. But even when the engine is on, the battery's supporting it. So you're always supplementing the power of the engine and to really save on fuel. Just an idea, we're right at half a tank of fuel on this, and 336 miles to go on fuel range. So you could probably go 650 miles on a tank of gas.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all excited. We just got these in last week, and they ride as smooth and quiet as the Elantras. They're just super impressive cars.
Nice. Way more than I knew about it, so...
I wish it wasn't raining. Again, I'm a fan of fun little facts. In the front grille, there's an active air flap that opens and closes depending on the style of driving you're doing. So if you're driving at low speeds where the engines can warm up, the air flaps open. Mm-hmm. And if you get out on the highway, they partially close, so you're still getting airflow to the engine, but it doesn't need it also. It helps the aerodynamics.
Wow.
Yep. And then in the lower part of the front air dam where the LEDs are, it's kind of a cool looking front end, but it's functional too. There's a vent, there's holes in it that funnel to vents inside the the wheel well, that the air flows through there, and then the style of the wheels, it actually puts the air through, over and around and through the wheels, and then the style of the rim propels it to help.
Dang.
It utilizes everything it possibly can.
Dang.
And the undercarriage is covered.
Okay.
So when you combine the shape of the car, the active air flap, those functional air curtains, and then that undercarriage cover, this actually has one of the lowest coefficients of drags on the market. It's the same as the Prius at 0.24.
Wow.
You can go a long way on very little fuel. Oh, and I didn't even mention, this car has blind spot detection and push button start, smart lift gate.
So obviously some of that technology is just going to be on this SEL, but
correct.
Like all of that build stuff, that's on everything. Like that's technology that's on.
What we've talked about is in the SEL. Yeah, the blue model doesn't have the blind spot detection, doesn't have the heated seats.
But I'm saying the build and the aerodynamics.
Yeah,
all
the
that stuff,
aerodynamics is on all of it. Yep, and that one's a little bit more fuel efficient because it doesn't have some of the extra equipment that adds weight.
Okay.
So it's a little bit lighter weight car. And then the one above this, the Limited, you can get this fully decked out with leather seats, moonroof.
Sure.
I mean, which we anticipate getting one pretty quick. But
is it the panoramic, or is it
I believe
just
it's just the regular.
I was going to say, because that's heavy when you.
Yeah, the panoramics are really heavy.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Point this out.
Here's the functional. The air flows through here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see it. You can see the vent right on the inside of the wheel well there.
Oh, yeah.
So the air flows through, and then the wheel, the shape of the rims, catches that air and helps propel the car.
Dope. Yeah, I never would have knew that.